Hey, hey, hey. Happy Monday. Come on in. Pull up a chair. The Gaming Gang Dispatch is in the air. Howdy, 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 gang. Welcome once again to the Duct Tape Studios. I'm Jeff McAleer, your host, here at the Gaming Gang Dispatch, brought to you by, amazingly enough, gaminggang.com, of which I happen to be the founder and editor-in-chief. So welcome aboard, everybody. Today is Monday, September 19th, 2022. This is live stream 830. Zoinks! It's your first time joining me. Let me point out, super casual around here. Just hanging out, talking about the latest in tabletop gaming news and taking looks at games. So we are certainly not engaged in rocket surgery by any stretch of the imagination. So tonight, we are actually going to take a first look at the latest chapter in the Bloodlord's adventure path for Pathfinder. Yes, that's right. It is Field of Maidens. And this is the third chapter, as I mentioned, in the Bloodlord's adventure path from Paizo Inc. We are going to dive in and take a look at this adventure a bit later on. I know normally I do not take a peek at as a big spider just lands right on the table. It's like, you know what? I wonder if we can, well, it's not that big. All right, you. Get going. Kingdom of the Spiders, I'm telling you. See, they were all little itty bitty tiny things a week or two ago. Now they're like full-fledged size spiders. As I look and I see a little spider hanging off of one of the cables to that camera. Well, I tell you, I'm waiting for it to get a little cooler in here in the Duct Tape Studios. Maybe see some of the spiders leave. See ya. Anyway, as I was starting to say, if you are kind of tuning in for the first time to check out the stream, let me point out, we start off by taking a peek at the latest tabletop gaming news. So we're going to dive into Field of Maidens, probably about 35 minutes or so. So if you're watching live, just relax, kick back, take it easy. We will get to the first look in just a bit. Plus, I got some pretty cool tabletop gaming news tonight. But if you are watching this after the stream ends, 30 minutes or more after it wraps up, you will find timestamps, and those timestamps will be in the show notes. And of course, depending on the device you might happen to be using to watch this, those timestamps might actually be right on the timeline of the video itself. Of course, when you're not watching videos on the Gaming Gang channel, be sure to visit thegaminggang.com. for all latest in tabletop gaming news, reviews, and a whole lot more that you won't find here on the YouTube channel. All right, finally, do want to mention this is a live stream, so that means there is chat available. It's not on screen. It's one of the ways I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay, and you do have to be a subscriber to the channel for at least 48 hours before you can take part in chat. Yet another way that I keep some of the more unusual commenters at bay. But if you want to say howdy, if you've got a question, a comment, by all means, chime in and I will respond. First out the gate tonight is the Motor City Madman himself. Yes, the Madman is with us. Also happens to be one of our chat moderators, Zoran. 1 is with us. It's been a while since we've seen Double Z1. Good to have you return. And Clint Gibson is with us as well tonight. So I'm going to take a guess. Probably going to be a little quieter chat tonight because it is Monday Night Football and we actually have 4 teams playing tonight. So I can understand if people are going to watch a bit of football. I'll be checking out the Buffalo game when I wrap up. So yes, I will. I got a feeling Buffalo is going to be the AFC Super Bowl representative. And I actually pull for Buffalo just because of the whole, 4 Super Bowls, didn't win anything kind of. I remember hearing, now I'm going to go off on a tangent real quick. So I remember hearing a story from a doctor who was with Doctors Without Borders or something like that. They were talking about how they would be in Africa and they would run across all these people who'd be wearing like Super Bowl champion Buffalo Bills sweatshirts and shirts and things like that. And he would see all these sports teams that had lost championships. Like, it'd be like the Cubs World Series champs, it'd be like, what is this alternate world here? And then he realized that all that clothing has to go someplace, and it wasn't just going into the trash. It was all being sent to charitable organizations to utilize. So I thought that was kind of funny. I thought that was pretty wild. The Madman points out he actually has the Bills game on in the background with the volume off. Clint asks, do I feel bad for Minnesota's 4 losses? I used to. I don't anymore because I don't really like Vikings fans. Sorry. For my experience when I lived out in Arizona, it would be, there were some bars that I go to watch Bears games because they had like all the games on. And I used to see like the Vikings fans, and I'm not talking playing the Bears. It could be playing anybody. But the fans out there, if the Vikings were losing, they wouldn't say boo. But if they were winning, then all of a sudden they're talking schmack. They're in everybody's face. And then, of course, if they were suddenly losing again, then they wouldn't say anything. It was like, okay, that's kind of weird. But like, most fans are just like, yeah, from the get-go. Don't know. Clint says they're a Bengals fan and figured I'm a Bears fan. Yes, I am a Bears fan. I have other teams I root for as well. Saying, it's pretty tough being a Bears fan lately. So 245 Trioxin is with us as well. Madman says, how about my Lions Super Bowl losses? Wait, they haven't played in the Super Bowl. Hey, I gotta say, I had the Lions yesterday. So, although yesterday was a bizarre day of football, nobody could hold on to a lead. I was like, didn't anybody want to win these games? It was like, what? Coco B says football season started in May with the Canadian Football League. So, yeah. Oh, and Coco says, go Bears. Less we talk about yesterday's game, the better. All right, so this is a game stream, but we are not talking sports. So let's jump on into the news because arriving this fall from Mindclash Games comes Astra. Here's the scoop. You and your fellow players are eager and curious astronomers determined to explore and understand the constellations of the mysterious night sky. You are willing to assist each other and share your discoveries, but in the end, only one of you will become famous. There can be only one. Famous enough to be remembered throughout history. Astra is a clever mix of tactics and strategy with a streamlined and intuitive rule set that makes it easy to pick up and quick to play. A game of Astra consists of continuous player turns until a certain number of constellation cards are taken, when, after an endgame scoring, the player with the most fame points wins. On your player turn, you may choose to either observe, or rest. The observe action allows you to spend Stardust to discover stars on the constellation cards using your dry erase marker. You may only mark stars in a straight, continuous line, but you may spend telescope tokens to start new observations. As soon as you mark the last star in a constellation, you take the card from the night sky, granting you a powerful, reusable ability for the rest of the game. But other players also benefit from the discovery. Based on how many stars they marked, they may choose one of the card's instant benefits, known as boons, at the time it's discovered. The rest action allows you to not only refill your Stardust up to your capacity, but also to reactivate all your card abilities that match the currently active sphere. Your card abilities are very powerful and strategy enabling, so a well-timed rest action can give you a huge advantage. Astra is for 2 to 5 players, ages 10 and up, plays in around 20 minutes per player. It's going to carry an MSRP of $35 when it arrives in November. Gotta say, this looks pretty interesting. It has me a little curious about this game. Should also mention, if you pre-order from Mindclash Games, you'll get a promo pack of an additional 6 constellations. So that is a special that's going on right now at their website as well. Moving right along, new to the GMT Games P500 pre-order list is Napoleon in Egypt. Here's what I know. Think of it, soldiers. From the summit of these pyramids, 40 centuries look down upon you, said Napoleon Bonaparte. On July 1st, 1798, 35,000 French soldiers landed in Alexandria. This expeditionary force's mission was manyfold: to find an alternate spice route through a foreseen Suez Canal, to settle yet another score with the British, to enlighten the population with ideals stemming from the recent French Revolution, and to discover what marvels and riches this fabled land of 1001 nights might hold. This was indeed an expedition where scientists walked alongside soldiers. Leading the French troops was also a young and ambitious general named Napoleon Bonaparte. Napoleon in Egypt is a 2-player, card-driven operational war game that allows you to recreate the French campaign in Egypt and Syria, from the landing of the French troops to the surrender of General Mignot on August 31st, 1801. The game draws inspiration from other top-selling CDGs like Here I Stand and Twilight Struggle. A good and fast-playing introductory war game thanks to its tight rule set with few exceptions. The game will also please the veteran wargamers with 100 cards, dripping with flavor, challenging players with the hand management every card-driven game fan has come to love. Napoleon in Egypt comes with 4 scenarios. The Conquest, where the French surprise the Mamluks and sweep across Egypt. The Syrian Anabasis, where the French offensive starts to lose steam as it has to face multiple fronts. The Fall, where the French, weary from the fighting, adopt a defensive posture to face strong retaliation from the Mamluks, the Ottomans, and the British. And we also have the Campaign game, where players relive the highs and lows of the French expedition from its landing to its bitter capitulation. So we're looking at the first 3 scenarios should play in about 2 hours. The full campaign, about 5 to 6 hours. Napoleon Egypt is for 2 players, or it can be played solitaire if you have the GMT Solo CDG expansion. It is for ages 13 and up, or 14 and up. I'm just tossing that out, probably 14 and up. Once again, plays in about 2 to 6 hours, and you can pre-order it right now at the P500 price of $62, with an eventual MSRP of $89. This looks very interesting. I love the fact that it's a card-driven game and we get the entire campaign, but we also get some shorter scenarios as well. This is also a Napoleonic campaign that has not been gamed to death. Yes, I'm looking at you, Waterloo. So this could be pretty cool. This just hit the P500. So it's only been up for a few days at most. And I believe it's already got about 250 orders. So it is off and running already. Let's move on to some role-playing game news. Arriving in stores this week from Monte Cook Games comes 10 Years of Adventure. Here's the skinny. 10 imaginative adventures, 10 years of innovation. Celebrating the 10th anniversary of Monte Cook Games, the 212-page limited edition hardcover collection, 10 Years of Adventure, brings you 10 exciting adventures, obviously enough, for Numenera, the Cipher System, and the Strange. Explore our fascinating worlds with fan-favorite adventures chosen from a decade of official MCG Gen Con events. Despite their popularity with GMs and players, these adventures have never before seen print. The one exception, Tyrant's Key, appears here in a special version optimized for a 4-hour one-shot game and gives you pre-generated characters not included with the adventure's original appearance in Path of the Planebreaker. From fantasy and science fiction one-shots to multi-party mega events to highly replayable horror adventures, this book delivers an amazing assortment of great gaming experiences from masters of adventure design. This is a limited edition hardcover, which means it's available in limited quantities and is for a short time only. The 212-page hardcover is arriving in stores, I believe it is this week, and it carries an MSRP of $49.99. So it is my understanding these have appeared in PDF before. They have never been in physical books, as far as I understand. I might be wrong, but I think that's what they're talking about when they say that these have not seen print before. I do believe they have been available as PDFs. Gotta say, Monte Cook Games always has cool art. Their artwork is always just top notch. Too bad I never really get a chance to check out much of their stuff. I've reviewed, I don't know, 2-3 PDFs over the years, and that's about it. JP Falconer is with us. It's been a while since we've seen JPF as well. So we've got a couple of folks hanging out in chat tonight that we haven't seen in a bit. So welcome back. Should I start singing the Welcome Back Cotter song? Welcome back. I don't know. I forget how the rest of it goes. I just remember the end of it too, where it's like, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Yeah, I know. I don't sing well. All righty. Now up on Kickstarter for Vault 5e and Cubicle 7 Entertainment is Uncharted Journeys. It is for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Here's the details on the project. It's not the destination, it's the journey. From the award-winning team that brought you Doctors and Daleks, Adventures in Middle-earth, and Victoriana 5e, which 2 of those 3 aren't out yet. So that's kind of interesting. Comes Uncharted Journeys. Uncharted Journeys brings detailed travel rules to the 5th edition of the world's most popular role-playing game and provides in-depth yet simple rules for creating memorable and compelling journeys. Make travel a fun and rewarding part of your 5e game. Undertake perilous journeys as your intrepid party blazes new trails across strange and uncharted lands. Strike out across unforgiving tundra and forge your path through deadly jungles as you battle to reach your destination. Experience travel in 5e as never before, with thousands of possible encounters. Meet strange and unforgettable characters along the road and uncover lost and forgotten ruins. Expand your 5e experience with new character abilities. Your journey starts here. There is a short Kickstarter video. It's a couple of minutes long. So let's kick back and give it a peek.
Uncharted Journeys brings detailed travel rules to 5e. In-depth yet elegant rules for creating memorable and compelling journeys. Make travel and exploration a fun and rewarding part of your 5e game. Meet other travelers with stories to tell and discover ancient and forgotten ruins. Each character has a vital role to play on the journey. The Outrider, who blazes new trails for the group to follow. The Quartermaster, who must find and ration food for the party. The Sentry, who must be ever alert for danger. And finally, the Leader, who must make key decisions to lead the party to safety. Uncharted Journeys provides rules to prepare for your journey by gathering supplies, securing mounts, or hiring a guide. Uncharted Journeys contains hundreds of events across numerous locations. With each stretch goal, we'll add new locations, including lands scoured by war, haunted lands ruled by a malicious undead vampire, and dreamlike landscapes where the Fae roam. On your journey, you might find a relatively safe roadside tavern while traveling well-worn paths, or lose your way in a vile swamp and stumble into the lair of a sneering green dragon. Perhaps you'll discover a long-forgotten ruin. Who built it? For what purpose? And what lurks here now? Uncharted Journeys gives GMs the ability to quickly generate hundreds of unique ruins, some safe, some less so. Your journey will change you. It may leave you exhausted or scarred, or perhaps with tales to tell and a newfound respect for life. After all, it's not the destination that matters, it's the journey. Well, most of the time.
The Kickstarter for Uncharted Journeys is fully funded. You can reserve a copy of the hardcover and PDF together for a $50 pledge, or score just the PDF alone for a $30 pledge through October 4th. Expected delivery is this December for the PDF and next April for the actual physical hardcover. Yes. I talked with my pal Dominic McDowell at Gen Con about Uncharted Journeys. So we went into some detail there. If you have not caught my interview, be sure to take a peek at that video. So Coco B, I believe, had pointed out that this looks pretty nice because this is something that is severely lacking in 5th edition rules and setting books and things like that. I agree. This seems pretty cool how to make getting from here to there much more memorable, not only for players, but for game masters as well, for dungeon masters as well, because the reality is players, can be bored with the kind of travel mechanics, which is basically just hand waving for the most part normally. Maybe a few random encounter rolls. And, that's not all that exciting for the game master either. So, or I should say dungeon master. We are talking Dungeons and Dragons here. So very cool. And I definitely like to see that we've got a quick turnaround on the PDF. So I would assume this is something that is almost completely done, because it is something that I guess has been in the works for a bit. Jason Bradley is with us. So is Stray Kismet. So welcome aboard. It's like we've got a pretty cool chat group going tonight. So Coco B says, imagine if the journey to Mordor was hand waved. Yeah, all right, you guys get there. You guys get to Mount Doom. What are you going to do now? You're at the edge of the volcano. What are you going to do? But wait a second, we just started playing 20 minutes ago. It's like, yeah, whatever. You're there. All right. Final news piece. Currently, Green Ronin Publishing is offering a smashing deal on a Mutants and Masterminds bundle over at Drive-Thru RPG. That's right. We are not talking about the usual bundle hangouts. We're talking Drive-Thru RPG. Although, I got to be honest, I think Bundle of Holding is owned by One Bookshelf. I'm pretty sure. So, I've got the deets on the deal. A PDF archive of almost everything released for Mutants and Masterminds, first edition and second edition. That's 56 PDF format books for a bit over 50 cents each. 7 PDFs from Mutants and Masterminds first edition, including the core rulebook and the Freedom City setting, the books that launched it all 20 years ago. These M&M 1E products, such as Noir and Gimmick's Guide to Gadgets, have never before appeared in PDF format. There are also 49 M&M second edition products, from the core rules to source books like Ultimate Power to PDF only releases. So, the normal cost on these PDFs is over $520. For just $29.99, you get all 56 PDF products, once again, spending little over 50 cents per PDF, including core rulebooks that go for like $20 in PDF. So with Mega Bundle comes mega opportunity. I'll be the first to point out, I am not familiar with Mutants and Masterminds at all. I mean, granted, okay, I know what it is. I've heard of it for years. I have never cracked it open. I have never taken a peek at any edition. I think they're on the 3rd edition now of Mutants and Masterminds. I gotta be honest. Superhero games, in my opinion, superhero role-playing games are tough to pull off. They really, really are. You know what? I had far more images here. So allow me to share those with you because there is some pretty cool artwork on this. So we will leave this news piece up for a little bit. Now, for some strange reason, we were not pulling those. We will now, though. So Jason Bratley says, Humble Bundle is not a great saving. After I buy the PDFs, I need the physical copies. Well, that's just, that's your fault. So Jason says, yeah. So as far as the hand waving to Mordor, I throw the ring in. I roll a 1. I guess this one goes to Sauron. So there's Freedom City. There's an adventure set in Freedom City. I actually like the artwork for the Golden Age and the Silver Age source books. And I find that kind of interesting because if you think about it, the Golden Age comics, just the whole concept of them and just their whole thematic feel is far different than Silver Age books. Far, far different. Especially if we are talking about like Timely Atlas Marvel. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Anyway, so I do not have any information on how long this bundle might be available. But if you have any interest whatsoever in superhero role-playing games, even if you already run something else, this is a steal. I mean, even just to grab some some ideas or to kind of try to port stuff over to the system you may happen to be using. Not too shabby, not too shabby at all. All right. So that is it for the news tonight. Of course, I was just talking about Drive-Through RPG. Don't forget, the gaming gang, thus the Dispatch, is affiliated with the One Bookshelf sites. So if you are going to visit, say, Drive-Through RPG, please don't forget, stop over by thegaminggang.com first. Click on one of our banner ads. That way, if you happen to make a purchase, you get a small portion of that sale. And it counts if you're going to Dungeon Masters Guild, Storytellers Vault, Wargame Vault, any of those One Bookshelf sites. All you got to do, click on the Drive-Through RPG banner. When you get to Drive-Through RPG, look at the lower left, and then you can just click on those links, take you where you want to go. But the affiliate code still remains. So keep that in mind as well. And of course, if you like this video, if you dig the channel, if you find thegaminggang.com to be a valuable resource, hell, if you just like what we do, you can always swing over to paypal.me/thegaminggang and making a small donation. And in fact, recently the Madman and Testy Trekkie both stopped by and made not small donations. So very, very appreciative. I haven't seen Testy Trekkie in chat so far tonight. So, but big thank you once again to the Madman. Doug Roberts is with us. Very cool. Welcome aboard, Doug. Just in time for us to be taking a peek at the Pathfinder adventure path tonight. All right, so we are going to jump in and take a look at Field of Maidens. I don't know why I made it Fields. It's Field of Maidens. In just a few moments, a few things I did want to talk about before we dive into a brief intermission. First of all, no streams next week. So what's going on is, well, you know, I like to take a week off from time to time. Usually once a quarter, I'll take a week off. And it's not like I'm not doing anything. So I'm still working on stuff. It's just I'm not doing a stream. So next week, no shows because October is going to be just a big month with a lot of stuff going on with the Gaming Gang, both video and on the website itself. So first off, once again, the Gaming Gang October Spooktacular will return. So every evening you will have a new old-time radio show to listen to that's going to be spooky, kids. Spooky. So I am trying to dig up some stuff that I have not shared before, but that's still pretty good, you know, because there are shows out there that, you know, are supposed to be scary that I have in my collection, and I just, you know, stuff like, so there is that. Also, I'm going to do my best to have a new review each and every day throughout October. Now, I'm not saying it's a new review video. I'm saying new reviews. So that means from myself as well as the gang as well. So there is that. And what was he? There's one other thing I was going to mention. Oh, the other thing is all next month, it's all role-playing games. We are going to tackle role-playing games all throughout October. Reason is the weather starts to turn. People spend more time inside. Come on, you want to spend your time gaming? Yes, I could easily just be doing board games for the whole month. But also, I have found that recently the streams where I share role-playing games are far outdrawing the just board game stuff. So I think part of it is because there are just so many people out there covering board games. I mean, every time I turn around, there's like 5 new outlets I've never heard of, people I've never seen before. And a lot of times somebody will say, oh, hey, check out our Kickstarter for whatever. And I go take a look and there's like all these previews from people who I have no clue who they are. Not so much role-playing games. So there is this. JPF says they've been listening to a lot of Phil Harris and Alice Faye. Sweet. Yes. Phil Harris from the Jack Benny Show. Yeah, I know my I know my old time radio pretty good. Pretty good. So who was it just pointed out they've got JPF says that they have Zoom jury duty. Wow, that's kind of weird. Jason says Fields of Maidens sounds rather complicated. I mean, what's wrong with normal fields? Fields of plenty. Normal fields are easier to sow seeds. Plus, you run a combined harvester over them and it's less messy. Yes. All right. So anyway, just a lot of stuff going to be going on in October. And I kind of just want to get a jump on it too. So I'm going to be working on a lot of that next week. So if you have not listened to the October Spooktacular old-time radio shows from last year, I kind of host them a little bit. I don't get into a lot because I mean the main sell is the show, not me talking. So, but yeah, some good stuff. Some very, very cool stuff. Of course, there will be some shows I will share again because I share them every year because they are really good. So keep that in mind as well. All right. Second thing, earlier today, I had tweeted and I also posted a message on YouTube in our community area about, it's sad when there's companies that I have worked with and reviewed stuff for and shared possibly hundreds of news pieces about in, over a decade of covering them. And we've talked about this before. I'm not going to harp on it a bunch. I'm just going to say this. And then they bring in somebody new as their PR person or their marketing person. And it's like, who are you? Their attitude's like, who the hell are you? And it's like, I'm the idiot who's been, providing advertising for your company for over a decade. I am not going to say who it is. You already know there's one company that I've cut off that I had been providing coverage for from the beginning, essentially, of the gaming gang that is no longer discussed. Same reason. And the thing is, I said, they treat me like a pissant. And I mean, that's exactly it. That's exactly how this other company is kind of approaching things. So I'm not going to call them out. I'm not going to get into that. But if you are a bit of a Columbo, if you are a bit of a sleuth out there, you will notice that there will be a company that I have shared news pieces for a long, long time that suddenly you're not going to hear anything about. And the funny thing is, it's like these companies have this attitude like, I have some obligation to share coverage about their games. And it's like, I don't. You treat me poorly, you're done. That's how it is. Just like I would think if I were an asshole to somebody from a company, then they'd be like, well, that's it. We're not dealing with the gaming gang and Jeff anymore. And I would completely understand that. I'd be like, yeah, okay, I get it. So Jason says, yeah, that's really bad. Sorry to hear about that. It's just, it happens, you know? And like I said before, it's these companies, they bring in these PR people, these marketing people who, I don't know if they've got their own little collection of people that, you know, they've worked with, because none of them stay at these companies anymore. They're like there for like 3 or 4 months, and then they're off to someplace else. So they don't even establish any relationships. So it must be like their own little cronies, their group of ass kissers that they want to deal with. And then it's like, oh, I don't know. I have no idea. It's like, okay, well, you don't want our over 1 million unique visitors to the gaminggang.com a year? That's fine. I got no issue with that. That's cool. Jason says, the Columbo maneuver. Just one more thing. As Connor Dunning has pointed out. Welcome aboard, Connor. Who else? Somebody else snuck in here, I thought, that I missed in chat. Maybe not. Maybe not. All righty. So I'm not mad or anything. It's just, it's a sad thing. It's a sad state that some of these companies out there, and the funny thing is, I have seen some of these companies bring in some of these PR people that I'm familiar with who bounce around all over the place. And that doesn't do anything for them. All right. Anyway, Kevin R. Smith is with us. Christopher Rush is who I missed saying hello to. All right. There is that. So before we jump on in to take a look at Field of Maidens for Pathfinder, I think it's time for a brief intermission.
Hot chocolate with a magical flavor you won't be able to resist. At our refreshment stand now.
Yes, there's an air coffee that's full-bodied, refreshing. Hot coffee makes any time a pleasant interlude. Won't you have some now?
One truckload Wilkins regular coffee? Check.
What was that?
Wilkins instant coffee? Check.
Cloverland dairy products are always close at hand. At your own front door, at the corner store, look for the Cloverland Dairy brand. Cloverland dairy products are always in demand. They come to you fresh as morning dew. Look for the Cloverland Dairy brand. Our brown cows give the whitest milk from eating of grass that's greenest. You really should call Cloverland, 'cause Golden Rule service is the keenest. Milk and butter and eggs and cheese, fresh from the farm to you. If you don't own a cow, call Cloverland now. It's North 92222. If you don't own a cow, call Cloverland now. It's North 92222.
You're singing that Cloverland milk song now, aren't you? Or at least you're humming it. Madman says, Wilkins didn't get run over by one of those cars? What's this world coming to? Sarah D has said hello. Flaming Huron's with us as well. So now we've got 3 of our 4 chat moderators hanging out. Yes. All right. So tonight I am going to be taking a first look at Pathfinder Bloodlords Field of Maidens from Paizo Inc. This is the third chapter in the Bloodlords adventure path, which is actually 6 parts. This is written by Jenny Jerzabski. I'm sure I just mispronounced that. My apologies. The 92-page adventure is available in softcover, should be in stores on Wednesday. Carries an MSRP of $26.99. Or you can get the PDF for $18.99. All right, let's swing on over to the other camera because here I've got Field of Maidens. So, got to point out that I have not done a live look at a Pathfinder adventure ever. I don't think I have. I know we have taken a look at Pathfinder books, but I don't think, well, maybe we have. Maybe we've looked at some of the one-shot Pathfinder adventures. I don't know. I mean, 830 live streams. I can't remember each and every one. So, all right. The first chapter of this adventure path, which is Zombie Feast, Sammy has done a review of. The second chapter, Grave Claw, you will see the review of later on this week, once again from Sammy. And this is the third chapter. So, pointing out a few things here. First off, the fine folks over at Paizo Inc. were kind enough to provide me with this adventure, but neither I nor anyone else affiliated with the gaming gang has received any other sort of compensation for me to share my coverage with you. These days, it's important that you know that. Also, I'll be staying picture-in-picture up here, as always. So I'll be cutting off a little bit of the upper left portion of the book as we peek on through. Also, this is an adventure. So if you are a player and your game master is running Bloodlords, or you're hoping that they're going to run Bloodlords, I would definitely recommend checking out any of the other over 1,800 videos on this channel. Come on, you don't want the surprises spoiled, do you? Huh? Do you? I don't think so. Counter says they've got Pathfinder 2nd Edition sitting on their shelf, kind of scared by the complexity of it. If I may make a recommendation, Connor, what I would probably tell you to do is, if you want to dip your toes in and make the process easier, grab yourself a copy of the beginner box, preferably grab it in PDF. And I'm trying to think if I'm not sure if there's still the Pathfinder Humble Bundle going on. I don't think it is. It was featuring the Strength of Thousands, but if I remember right, I think it had the beginner box as well. But the beginner box will really ease you in to Pathfinder 2nd Edition. Because yes, I do agree that it can be rather daunting. Because for one, it's a huge core book. It really is. Kevin points out, yes, that core book can look pretty intimidating. But as he points out, a lot of it is setting material. And a lot of it is also material that, depending on, exactly as Kevin's pointing out, depending on what the characters that are being played are, you may not even have to deal with. So, keep that in mind as well. Flaming Heron says it's still going on for a couple more days. The Humble Bundle, that is. Like I said, I think it's got the beginner box, and you can pick it up really, really cheaply. I think the whole bundle is $18, if I remember right. You can grab everything in it. All right, let's take a look at the back here. Secrets hidden in stone. The Field of Maidens lies among Geb's southern border, studded with petrified invaders from centuries past. The abandoned Badlands takes on new significance when a traitor claws her way back from the dead and races to a mysterious rendezvous that threatens to destabilize the undead nation. The Bloodlords adventure path continues with Field of Maidens, a complete adventure for 8th to 10th level characters. As Testy Trekkie joins us. Welcome, Double T. All right, so I'm not going to look at each and every page. We're going to skip through this, but I want to give you a good feel for what's going on in this book, what you can expect with an adventure path. So hopefully the players are gone. So it's just game masters and the rest of us. So far we've had zombies, we've had hags. I kind of get the feeling that we're eventually going to get to vampires. I don't know why. I don't know. So this clocks in at 92 pages, and as with just about every adventure path chapter that I run across, it'll be broken up into 3 chapters. So we've got oh, look at this. The Vampire's Trail. Okay, so I know. I'm not going to take much credit for that because Bloodlords, to me, I think is pretty obvious. You're going to be dealing with vampires. So we've got Hearts of Stone and guests at Gristle Hall. In this adventure, the characters learn that an old enemy has risen from the dead and is fleeing south for some unknown purpose, one that might give them more information about the pernicious plot they've uncovered in the Bloodlords adventure path so far. So we have characters beginning at 8th level. So here we have the Vampire's Trail. So ready? Here's a synopsis. Once again, there's spoilers. I'm telling you. So if you don't, yes, Tessie Trekkie points out, everybody, it was Talk Like a Pirate Day. That's right. I knew about it earlier today, and then I forgot. And I was like, oh yeah, I better open up the show, talking like a pirate. And then I forgot. At the behest of Royal Spy Master Seldig Headless? I don't know. That's what it looks like it'd be pronounced. The characters travel south to investigate rumors of Iron Tivia's return from the grave. They find her cottage in Axon Wood transformed into a shadowy horror infested with dangers and evil magic. From there, the characters follow Iron Tivia's trail through a village doomed by the death of its vampire leader, whom Iron Tivia destroyed. Womp womp. And then free a merchant community from Iron Tivia's spawn. The characters learn what happened to Iron Tivia and get glimpses of the unusual powers she now commands, doing so under the watchful eye of one of the most significant figures in Geb. All right, so be taking a peek through here. So at this point, being 8th level characters, you're going to see some tougher adversaries than what most people will encounter in a lot of adventures. Thing that I find interesting is, Kevin Smith points out the Humble Bundle doesn't have the beginner box. Oh, well, but the PDF is pretty inexpensive. Or I can also point out, keep your eyes peeled every few months. There is a Pathfinder Humble Bundle that pops up, and usually you can get like the core book in PDF and the beginner box. It's usually a couple bucks. Sometimes it's in the dollar range. So Stray Hit Kismet says, I love how monochrome laser printer friendly horror settings are. Yes. So easy, right? So easy to print this stuff out. We have the Hollow Flesh Market. I'll be the first to point out, I do not know a ton of the setting info about Pathfinder 2nd Edition, or essentially the Lost Omens setting. That is one of the reasons why I have Sammy do the Pathfinder reviews now. We used to kind of go back and forth. I would do like one adventure path for Starfinder and then like for Pathfinder, but she's far more well-versed with both systems and settings than I am. And I tend to have more of an old school sort of mentality with adventures. So some of the more modern approaches I'm not so keen on, where she like feels very comfortable with that. So I thought to be honest, I thought it'd be far more fair to Paizo to have Sammy doing the reviews, because most of the adventures I'd always be like, this is a railroad. You've seen the reviews where it's kind of like, there's some cool stuff going on. But so, all right, looks like we've got quite a bit going on here. So here we go. Oh, so we kind of jumped through chapter 2. So now we have chapter 3, guests at Gristle Hall. All right, let's go back. Let's find out, where did chapter 2 start off? So I'll give you a synopsis of what's going on here. Okay, so chapter 2 synopsis. In this chapter, the party arrives at the Field of Maidens. The region's mysterious and ominous denizen, the Medusa Corinza, informs them that 2 foreign groups, both from Holomog, have established military camps in the area. Seldeg Headless is summoned to Mekatar under mysterious circumstances, leaving the party to deal with the foreign invaders and continue their investigation into Iron Tivia's whereabouts on their own. The characters must explore the region's unusual landscape and spy, fight, or negotiate with the Wenians and Zuntishans, dealing with the invaders however the characters choose to do so. Convinces Corinza to reveal more about Iron Tevia. There you go. Christopher says really likes the borders of this book. Yeah, pretty nice. Pretty nice. All right, so our chapter 3 synopsis. Don't you love me mispronouncing all these like fantasy names and places? And as I started to say, as far as I understand, I think the land of Geb is like undead. It's like an undead nation. It's as far as I kind of get the feel for it. Like I said, I am not super well versed with the Lost Omen setting. Not as I should say, I'm not as well versed as I would like to be. Kind of gives me a feeling like it's almost like a vampire state, kind of like we see in Midgard with Cobalt Press. All right. So chapter 3, now that the Hulma forces in the Field of Maidens has been handled, the characters can speak to the Medusa Corinza to learn the location of Gristle Hall, Iron Tivia's destination. Corinza's constructed minions have imprisoned her in her own eerie dollhouse. So the characters must first free her. Corinza then tells them the dangerous route to Gristle Hall, where the characters can face Iron Tivia and learn the identity of her master, Chancellor Kemnebi. With the dangers of Gristle Hall vanquished, Corinza wants to claim the location's treasures, which means betraying the characters. There you go. Spoiler. Big time. So Christopher says, oh, look, Mrs. Potts is pissed or is pissing. One of the two. All right. Jumping on through here. Oh, look, we've got evil dolls. Come on. When we said dollhouse, we knew that was coming, right? You knew that was coming. So it looks like a lot of fighting going on in this chapter here. So there's a vampire. It's the vampire they've been chasing. So on the cover here, this is the Medusa, obviously. So who's going to betray the characters? Great. Thanks a lot. All right. So we get a map of Holomog. So this should be a bit of a gazetteer. Holomog, land of celestial concordance. Okay. Going to breakdown of that. Then we get Among the Shadows. Where there is light, shadows aren't far, as one can't exist without the other. However, shadows linger in pure darkness as well, not the mundane kind produced by blocking a ray of light, but rather the sinister undead beings that cling to the mortal world, recoiling from the light just as shadows stretch from the horizon when the sun is low. Belying normal behavior, these undead monstrosities shift and twist independently of any source of light and pull life from their victims. So here we have a discussion of shadows. So we have greater shadows, feral shadows. So we've got different variants of them. Then we get our toolbox, which we'll find in each and every Adventure Path chapter. So we'll get new magic items, new spells. Sometimes we get new backgrounds, new feats. So usually a lot of additional goodies that can be used in any adventure. So here we have the magic items, spells, special material. Now we get our bestiary with new creatures, also NPCs. It's the Shimmer Newt. And here we have our major NPC of this chapter, the legendary Medusa and Lonely Maiden of Southern Geb, Corinza. So we get our stat blocks as well. And we have our other major NPC, no doubt, talking about what comes next month, our open game license, and we'll wrap up with some ads for some recent Pathfinder releases. There you go, Book of the Dead. I think that's why we've got Bloodlords as our adventure path, is because of the recent release of Book of the Dead, which of course Sammy has reviewed. All right, so that is Field of Maidens, Chapter 3 in the 6-part Bloodlords adventure path for Pathfinder from Paizo Inc. Now, as a special bonus tonight, we're going to take a look at a couple other releases from Paizo. There's not a lot coming out this month from Paizo Inc. There is tons coming out in October. So there actually is not a chapter of the latest Starfinder adventure path this month. So I was kind of surprised by that. So we got a couple of flip mats. So for Pathfinder, all right, come on, you. I just cut through that. So we've got the Planar Tavern for Pathfinder. And then we've got the Space Station Promenade for Starfinder. Might as well take the shrink off of this as well. So these are also arriving on Wednesday. They both carry MSRPs of $16.99, or you can grab just the PDF for $11.99. All right, so let's take a peek here. Of course, these are dual-sided, and you can utilize both wet and dry erase markers on these and be able to remove that So here we've got that's kind of cool. So this is like a tavern kind of well, it says planar tavern, but to me it looks like this is more like in the woods and that, right? In the woodlands. And of course, it is marked off with a grid so you can utilize miniatures or pawns. And then we've got another tavern, this time with lava. I point this out all the time when we take a peek at some of these flip mats and the flip tiles and things like that, is that you can easily utilize these if you play miniatures games as well. So if you play skirmish level miniatures games, like say a Frostgrave from Osprey Games, these work perfectly for that. So that is the Planar Tavern. So we've got that. And then we have the Space Station Promenade, which actually looks like it's got a bit more detail than that Planar Tavern did. So it looks like we've got like a dining area here. An arcade of some sort almost. Kind of. Look, there's ball pits. Are these supposed to be dancers or something? I don't know. Like, because it almost looks like they're on tables. I don't know. Christopher says is Quark's bar on there? Maybe. And we got another area down here. Let's take a look at the back. That's kind of cool. So this looks like this is almost along the lines of like a merchant area. Like a bazaar of some sort, right? It's got different merchants here. It looks like a piano, but it's not. It's just that's the roof there. Stray Kismet said, hey, I could use that for my Traveler game. Yeah, of course. There we go. So that's the back. And that is our Space Station Promenade to go with our Planar Tavern as well as Bloodlord's Field of Maidens for Pathfinder from Paizo Inc. And of course, Sammy's going to have a review of this in the very near future. I just sent her the PDF for this adventure as well. All right. So those are actually your major physical releases from Paizo this month. So kind of quiet. Now, keep in mind, there's plenty of Pathfinder and Starfinder Society goodies going on this month. But of course, you know, if you're subscribed to that, you can look forward to those as well. All right. So that is it for tonight's show. So what's going on the rest of this week? I already told you no shows next week, but this week I'm still hanging out. Tomorrow we're going to take a first look at the Alien role-playing game. Yes, I got a copy of this from Free League Publishing. So obviously Free League Publishing is not the company treating me like a pissant, because we're taking a look at Alien tomorrow. Keeping my fingers crossed we see that beginner box. I got to reach out to my contact over at Free League, see what's going on. I haven't chatted with her in a bit. So we're going to take a look at this because I didn't have an opportunity to check out the core book. And the core book is what has the campaign rules. The starter set had the cinematic rules, which are just for like one-shots. And the adventures that have come out, for the most part, have all been one-shots that utilize the cinematic rules. So I'm curious to see the campaign rules. I don't think they're called campaign rules. I think they've got a different title to them. Then on Wednesday's show, it's going to be a War Game Wednesday. We are going to be taking a look at Great Battles of Julius Caesar. This is the deluxe edition, and it is jam-packed with 20, yes, count them, 20 battles. So that is on Wednesday's show. And of course, this is from GMT Games. So yes, some folks out there will be very happy to see that we've got a War Game Wednesday on the horizon. All right. So thank you very much for hanging out with me tonight. If you like this video, by all means, please give it a quick thumbs up. Subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel if you haven't already. And if you do subscribe, ding that bell. It'll not only let you know when the Dispatch streams live Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m. Central, right here on YouTube. It'll also let you know when I upload other videos, such as my upcoming first look at Crescendo of Violence from Osprey Games. So that is coming up soon, as well as my first look at, well, it's not really a first look. I'm going to share a look at the paint box edition of Rackham Vale. I was going to shoot this weekend and then got stuck doing a lot of fall cleaning. So didn't have an opportunity to shoot any video over the weekend. All right. So if you watch live, thank you very kindly. If you took part in chat, bonus experience points for you and a tip of the cap, not only for keeping me company, but keeping each other company as well. But of course, I know a lot of you out there, you don't have an opportunity to watch the stream live. Doesn't matter if you're watching live or on Memorex. I really do appreciate each and every one of you taking time out of your busy lives to watch any of the videos here on the Gaming Gang channel. Everybody enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, evening, whatever time of day it is in your neck of the woods. I'll be back tomorrow. And of course, here's hoping each and every one of you out there gets to enjoy plenty of great gaming with your gang.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.
Oh, hey, you're still here. Well, that's okay. You don't have to leave just yet. In fact, why don't you subscribe to the Gaming Gang channel right here, or take a peek at the latest live stream, or even find out what YouTube recommends you check out from the channel. And of course, I'm Jeff McAleer. Thanks again for watching.